Hello there. You're listening to the Box Office Show. I'm Ryan Hill.
And I'm Dylan Johnson. Today we're going to talk about the box office numbers from last weekend and our box office predictions for this upcoming weekend.
We'll also be talking about Zendaya and Robert Pattinson's new film, The Drama.
Let's launch into our box office breakdown for April 10th to the 12th. In first place, in its first weekend, the Super Mario Galaxy movie made $131 million in the 3-day. And for the 5-day Easter weekend, it made $190 million, just shy of 200. But hey, as a guy who has this on his roster, this is on my roster, right?
Yes.
As a guy who has this on his roster, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I'll take it.
There you go. The start of the 2026 box office draft season. First movies come out, and it is doing really well.
And they're off.
To see how it goes, but certainly on pace for $1 billion, as predicted.
$1 billion.
Project Hail Mary with $31 million.
And then The Drama, which we're talking about today, made $14.3 million.
Hoppers has $5 million, bringing its domestic total to around $150 million.
It should be higher. Everybody go see Hoppers. That movie's awesome. And then Reminders of Him made $2.2 million.
A Great Awakening with $2 million.
They Will Kill You with a lower $2 million.
Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, $1.8 million, bringing its domestic to $20 million.
Durandar, The Revenge, $1.8 million, bringing its domestic total to $26 million.
And then Undertone with $1 million rounds out the top 10.
All right, for the box office predictions for April 17th to the 19th, we have Super Mario Galaxy going into round 2. Its second weekend, is it going to have a hefty drop? Is it going to hold on a little bit? I do not think the word of mouth is going to go very great for this one. Still haven't seen it yet. But the reviews are not looking good. However, is Mario. It could still make it. I'm going to give it like $65 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that tracks. Should do something like that. How about UV in Tuscany? A new rom-com coming out.
Dude, like 8 mil.
8 mil?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the easy box office predictions. Yeah. No disagreement.
We'll go on to The Drama. So, written and directed by Christopher Borgli, who did Dream Scenario from a few years ago, which you really liked.
I did. It was just shy of my top 10, I think. I mean, it was just in the top 10, barely, for that year. One of the two. It was hovering around the 10 spot, either in favor or not. But I loved it. I thought it was great. You did not like it as much as I did. You gave it like a 3 or something. Yeah.
It's good. Solid. Enjoyed it, but
you did not think watching Nicolas Cage fart and then come and then fart was very funny.
That was probably the standout of that movie, but
that scene is
the rest
fantastic.
of it didn't quite live up. Once you see that, it's hard to.
You don't think it's beautiful when he's floating in the David Byrne suit at the end with Julianne Nicholson and they transcend from their reality and their marriage is saved? No, I like it. Nope. I like what he says about I don't know,
just marriage and marriage being
saved. No, not quite.
That might tie into The Drama.
Yeah, this one is not to get into spoilers about my overall review. I guess we can just get into it, but I loved it. I thought it was great.
All right. So Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Alana Haim, and Mamadou Athie are our main cast members for this one. Again, so pretty tight-knit. Definitely mainly focuses on Zendaya and Robert Pattinson.
Of course.
And the first of the year of Zendaya / Robert Pattinson / Tom Holland / Anne Hathaway. So
it's their year. The Odyssey is going to blow up.
Who comes out on top, but definitely a strong start here for Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. So your initial impressions are that you loved it.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
So did you get to go into it without being spoiled?
Yes.
for what the secret
The
was?
secret is yes. I had no idea what it was. Did you get spoiled?
Not directly, but I was able to put things together.
Really interesting.
Because there were some comments and people saying things like there was a discussion out of nowhere around the same weekend it came up where people were, and this is now spoilers. So if you haven't seen the drama, go and watch it. Definitely benefits from you going in blind. But there was like a comment of somebody saying, if my significant other revealed that they were going to shoot up the school but didn't the day before the wedding, I would just marry them and move on. So I saw that comment and I was like, it's a weird thing to, I'm like, sometimes comments can be weird, but I'm like, what does this mean?
Seems a little odd.
And then I think I saw another thing like referencing that somewhere else. And then I just put 2 and 2 together, like, oh, the drama just came out. And we knew there's like some big thing, right, that was going to happen in that wedding. And so it's like, that's what it was.
It was very different than my expectations. I thought, like, I was like, cut and dry, easy movie is one of them cheats, right? That would be like the basic drama, right?
Yeah.
That's tried and true. People have done that for centuries. I thought maybe if this was a basic film, Robert Pattinson would like cheat on Zendaya at some point, and which I guess spoilers, he does kind of in a little bit, but like I thought that would be like the main drama of the wedding, and he's like trying to cover it up, maybe something like that. I did not think Zendaya's character was going to be quote unquote the drama, you know. So that one took me by a little bit of surprise.
I didn't know she was going to be the one that was, because it's like, oh, Robert Pattinson, you know, that fits the bill, but kind of Zendaya being the one, crazy, just as far as, you know, being a white guy. So I was like,
sure,
Zendaya, that's a twist. I saw it was funny though, because we've had that conversation, we've had the exact question of what's the worst thing you've ever done. Thankfully, nobody
said anything that bad, especially since we all went to high school together. That would be
that's the thing
really
too.
Awkward.
So who'd you see this with? Was it Ezra?
Lillian.
Lily?
It was me and
Lily. You saw it with Lily? Okay, what'd she think?
She loved it too.
Oh, she did. Also Ezra really liked it. Did not like it.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
And part of it was because he was like, no one would ever say that. No one would like bring it up. And I was like, well, she was drunk.
She was drunk.
And then he was like, yeah, but no one would say that. But then we started doing it again. We were talking about like, what is the worst thing?
Well, what is the worst
like it can't happen because we all knew each other in high school. A lot of us from middle school or elementary school. And so it's like nothing like that could have happened. I guess it could, which would be even crazier.
It would be just that much more harder to say out loud.
Yeah.
Anything that we do that's bad would be hard to say out loud because we understand the context of that situation, especially if it was that far back ago. Like, I can't tell you like the worst thing I did when I was a child because you knew me when I was a child. Like, that's bizarre. It's so much easier to tell somebody who I met later in life, like somebody I know that I met like maybe this year or something. I could maybe confess something to them and it'd be easier. But like, you would know the characters in the story. You would know the context around like what was going on in my life at the time. You just know too much, I suppose. So in the situation where Zendaya is talking to these 3 people who she's only known for a couple years and they did not know her at all when she was a child and she went through all of this and she's drunk.
That was the other reason that I said, because again, for us, like it would just be too crazy. But imagine if you're in her shoes. So again, she thinks she's an entirely different person now, at least in her mind, right? She's like so far removed from that. And these people never knew her then. So it's kind of like, it'd be easier for her to admit something that was crazy, but is so far removed in the past where it's like, I'm not even that person. And then
my favorite part is Alana Haim telling her story and Zendaya genuinely getting like a little judgmental of like, well, what would you do if like they hadn't like found him? Like, what would you have just left him there? Like, she does get a little judgmental, and then we get to
there. She left. She booked it.
Well, she says like, what would you do if they didn't find him? And Alana Haim was like, well, obviously I would have said something then. I just was like scared. And then Zendaya is like still like a little judgmental of like, you still like locked a kid in a closet and ran, you know? And then it gets to Zendaya's turn and she says her thing. And now the roles have reversed and Alana Haim is incredibly judgmental. The cousin thing is crazy. My cousin was in a shooting. My cousin was paralyzed because of a shooting. Bro, I love this movie. It's so incredible.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the fact that they went for this premise. I really appreciate that Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, they're down for it. Like, there's stuff.
This is a bold thing to sign on for. Yeah,
dark comedy stuff.
It's funny too.
Dealing with school shootings.
when they go to the photographer and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna shoot you, and then I'm gonna shoot your parents, then I'm gonna shoot
that
your
that's the
grandparents."
best scene for sure.
It's
That
incredible, yeah.
running joke is great because that's like really fresh off of the
Shooting
the
grandparents
revelation.
DVD.
And then when they try and do, which is kind of in the trailer, but when she's like getting them together and trying to do a picture, and they're very
Mhm.
uncomfortable. But then now it adds in the flashbacks of him imagining her like in school shooting attire and getting ready to do it and all that. And
Mhm.
so yeah, that was great. Shout out to the photographer on that. She was a great actress.
It's a bold
So
premise. It's a very bold premise.
very bold premise.
You know who
I
that
think
is, right? The photographer.
who?
She's in Succession.
Oh,
She's
who?
Carrie, the secretary that Brian
Okay,
Cox
okay.
dates. It's Carrie.
Wow, good for her.
She's
Great
great.
part.
Great part.
So yeah, so I like that stuff for sure. I liked a lot of the cringe comedy stuff that they were doing,
Yeah.
especially like very early on, which is very frenetic editing pace. It's like this is like whipping back and forth between these two,
Mhm.
people that are writing their vows essentially, their wedding
Oh,
speeches,
I think it's
and then
cute.
getting to see
Yeah.
their backstory as well. But I liked it. Like I
It's a
was
good writing
definitely
device.
feeling the cringe slash comedy of it, so I liked that a lot. And yeah, they just do good little thought experiments slash again just really leaning into the cringe of the situation.
It is a good thought
Uh,
experiment. I want to ask you, you're in Robert Pattinson's shoes. What would you do?
I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Look, if
Come
she
on.
was Zendaya, then we can we can work it out. All right,
Crazy.
that was in the past, but I don't know because again,
No, but for real though.
I haven't felt strong enough about anyone to want to be married to them, so I don't know how it
Sure.
would feel
Not
because
even me.
otherwise, at this point, where I'm just like that'd be crazy. But if I like again, you get so attached to this person
I'm saying, dude.
and you love them so much, and then you learn this truth about them in the past, and it's like again, it's not unconditional love, right? Like you can't just
Yeah.
move past that. That's always going to be a factor now. And so, do you accept it and move on, or are you
I
just like, no,
genuinely
I
don't
can't do it?
know. I have no
And that
idea,
that
dude. It's
speaks more
crazy.
broadly to the fact of like, can you really believe people can change? Like, can you believe that somebody can really transform themselves, going from someone who's like
I
going to
think
shoot
I
to
can. I
school?
think I can absolutely believe that people can change, and I think I can get past that part. The thing that would gnaw at me is, were you ever going to tell me? Which is something he does bring up, of like, hey, if we hadn't had like this thought experiment when we were drunk, like, would
Would
you have
that be
ever
a factor
told me?
though? Because I
To
feel
me, it
like
would. Yeah.
I'm on Ezra's thing of like, if you were the Zendaya person, you would never tell anybody for this exact reason because
Uh,
it's crazy and people would look at you differently. Why would you risk that?
but
So,
if you were going to be with somebody and you're going to be with them warts and all,
so this is the question then: would you ask this of your significant other and be like, "What's the
for
worst thing
yeah,
you've
for them
done?"
to tell
And
you
then would
every
you
one of
want
their
them
secrets, but would you
to
want to tell
like?
your significant other all your secrets? Do you think relationships should be fully, completely honest about all of your deepest, darkest secrets in your entire history, or do you think you can keep things from each other?
So I'm of two minds of this. One, I think it's kind of sweet because this story it ends kind of on a positive note where
Yeah, which I
they're like,
love.
"All right, warts and all, we're gonna do this." And I was thinking of like, I'm like, that really would be kind of beautiful, wouldn't it? Because you see this all the time where on the topic of school shootings, okay, your
Mhm.
namesake, Dylan, whatever, sorry,
My
but one of those
namesake,
guys, I'm just saying, it's crazy that your parents
bro.
named you the year after Columbine. Why would they name you after, but anyway,
What the hell?
I'm just saying, that's one of those like Adolf is
Sorry.
off the
Should
board.
I call my dad now and ask him why he
Dylan should
named
have
me
been off the
Dylan?
board. It should have taken at least 4 years, 5 years for that to come back around. Okay.
I've known many Dylans my age. Okay, did they
It's
all
true.
name us after a school shooter?
And I'm just shocked. I'm just surprised. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, um, but those two, it's like these two friends, I guess, whoever they were, went into this together doing like a horrible, heinous thing. You see this all the time. The Bonnie Clyde type things where people in a relationship will do these absurd crimes and go down together. And it's
Mhm.
like that is kind of a beautiful, true love sort of thing
This is
where
a
like
bad
you're
take,
really
Ryan.
it's I'm getting to where it
All
all
right.
comes together. Again, I'm saying like that would be a true expression of like you are all in on each other. That you would A, accept each other for warts and all, and then B, add more warts and go and commit these terrible, heinous crimes. Like, what a connection these two people would have.
So you think Robert
However,
Pattinson, the movie should have ended with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya going like full natural born killers on the wedding
they
party and
go,
just go gunning them down? Because
they go like,
that would have been
we'll
a
do
little
another
bold.
wedding and shoot them all up. No, of course that'd be crazy. But I'm saying you see that pattern pop up, and it's like, wow, is that the measure of true, true love? Because you would see all these other situations, right, where something happens and you're like, I can't accept you now after this. Like, we have to break up. This is far beyond, even though I had this love for you, which is very strong. Now, knowing the type of person you really are, like knowing everything about you, I can't buy into it 100% anymore. And so we need to stop it, which I think is the more realistic, pragmatic, like sensible. Inevitable wouldn't be the right word, but it's just that makes sense more to me. And so I, like, in these shoes, again, my thought process would be, of course not. Like, I can't think that way, but there's clearly people out there that do, that again are like, I will accept warts and all, and again they go and commit other heinous crimes and whatnot. As someone who, again, A, hasn't felt that intensity of love, and then B, is a goody two shoes who doesn't commit any of those things anyway, even like the smallest
Now,
scale of
what's
drinking and
worse?
whatnot.
What's worse?
I just can't see it. I can't see that happening.
Okay. What's worse? The woman you're gonna marry. She tells you that she once had the plan to shoot up a school when she was in middle school, or
Goodness.
she tells you she's gonna go and hang out with her ex past lifestyle. Which is worse?
I would say the school shooting. I'd be fine with the past lives. Again, there's some level of, I think you were on the train of like, invite me too, right? Or you were like, no, don't bring me along.
No, yeah. At the time, I did not want to be brought, and then I think later on, because that was what we recorded that like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like last year, I re-listened to that episode, and I came to you and I was like, I think I changed my mind about a lot of what I said in that episode. I think I would want to be there.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I would just want to know.
I'm saying we go tit for tat here. I bring in X, you bring in X. Let's see what happens, and then maybe they get together. That'd be crazy. Let me ask you, because you have been in love and in a long-term relationship.
Yes.
One where someone might have posed the question, might have said maybe it's time for
definitely considered marriage. Yeah, definitely thought I might get married. Yeah, at some point.
Let me ask you, because again, I haven't felt that intensely with anyone.
Not even me.
No, unfortunately.
I said that earlier and you didn't hear me say it. I had to repeat
a good gag. But so again, that's why, like, from an outside perspective, I'm like, how can somebody feel that strongly about someone to, again, A, accept the warts and all, and then B, like, commit these crimes and go crazy? I'm like, again, on one hand, it's like,
commit the crimes, I don't
wow,
understand.
True love. But on the other hand, I'm like, that's crazy for multiple reasons. Not the least of which is like, how could you ever like be so invested in someone to be like, yeah, I'll go along with you doing these crazy things and like hurting other people.
Well, those people, I imagine, also were just willing to some degree, in a theoretical sense, willing to do those things even without that person being present. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be an interesting like psychological study.
Because for me, there is no amount of love that would make me like abandon my moral standings,
your principles and your morals to do stuff like that. Yeah.
But those people, if they say they're doing it for love, they just didn't really have strong moral standings to begin with. And this maybe just pushed them over the edge. You know what I'm saying? They were willing to give up any moral standings they had in order to hold on to that relationship and preserve it.
Interesting.
I don't think I would, go full Clyde with a woman. Maybe if it was Zendaya, I don't know. But
again, Zendaya, we could talk about it.
But the question specifically from this movie of like planning it out, because then it would
be accepting something in the past, but it's not even like an action. Yes. So again, that's the other thing too, where again, from my outside view, I'm like, I don't know how I could.
You raise a good point. Do I believe people can change? I firmly do believe that people can change because I've experienced change myself.
I think so
too. The question is, do I believe that they would have actually carried it out? Or do I think they have moral standings that would have prevented them from doing it? Because in the movie, she says that the only reason she didn't do it was because there was already a shooting that happened earlier and it like killed the momentum.
Why would that kill the momentum, by the way? I don't understand the thought process there. Why she was like, stole my thunder, I guess. Like, what?
Yes, the whole thing about people who do these kinds of things is that they're doing it for attention. And so if somebody else beats you to the punch, it makes sense to me
Yeah.
because her character is like she's posing with the gun, she's obsessed with these figures, she wants to be immortalized herself. That is like what these people do, you know.
Right.
That's
Okay.
why they do these things is for the
She
attention
literally was
and the
like, my
celebrity.
thunder just got stolen, so now I can't.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I firmly believe that is like plausible, a plausible reason why she wouldn't do it. And then she just like freaked out and got rid of the gun and went full, and then like, but got brought into a community and realized that community was better than killing people and just fully went full tilt the other way.
She becomes a gun,
Yeah, which is
gun
really,
control advocate.
really funny. Really funny.
It is funny.
I don't know. I just, it would
But
come
here's the
down to the
thing.
question of do I think that, because I understand that kids can be bullied and that kids can be troubled. And I can accept that my partner had like terrible thoughts because of a result of like being bullied and ostracized in school. My thought process would be how willing were they to actually commit the act of, you know, mass murder
They brought the
at
gun
such an age.
to
Yeah,
school.
bringing the
They
gun to
recorded
school
the
is
stuff.
quite literally the smoking gun of like, if you brought the gun to school, then yeah, no, I don't think I could be with you. I just don't think I could do it. You were willing to do it. You got that far. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But here's the other thing. So again, going back to it's just something I've noticed it, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it again as someone like on the outside, because you see these things like the phenomenon with serial killers who
Yes.
get married while in prison. Like there are these
people are obsessed with
women
them.
that get obsessed with them, and then they're writing letters, and then they go and meet them and all that.
Horrible
And I'm
people
like,
are always immortalized. There's some kind of infatuation with people who
there's
are willing
something,
to have no morals.
and
Serial
so
killers, mass murderers, like dictators. There's some sort of weird fetishization obsession with like what we would call evil. You
right.
know, not that I
So
think
again,
anybody can really be evil, but I think there are evil things that people can do. I think that there's just an obsession with those who are willing to do those things for whatever
yeah.
reason.
But then they talk about, or some of them at least are like, oh no, but they're a great person actually. And
Well, Ted
this,
Bundy
this,
was
and that.
quite a looker.
And so I just, again, to me, it's like that's unfathomable. Like that somebody could, after already knowing this crime has taken place, that they would then seek them out and then somehow fall in love. I'm like, again, I just don't know that that's true love. It's just some type of
What
twisted
do
thing.
we don't know what true love is, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So what what is true love if not accepting that your significant other almost shot up a school
So maybe it
and
is
being
true
okay
love.
with it?
I don't know.
Because that's the
I don't
unconditional thing,
know.
right? And you see it as well
But is true love supposed is
with kids, right? Like
I don't give a
a
shit about
parent
true love.
a parent to a kid is, it feels like more unconditional love there, right? But there's been cases where kids have done heinous things, the parents stick by them. Kids do horrible things, and then the parents do abandon them.
Yeah.
But do they still
Would
have
you?
that love there? And so it's again like, where do you draw the line? At
If
what
you
point
found
do
out
you
your
accept?
kid thought about shooting up a school and like brought a gun to school.
Well, now it's a compelling thing because then it's like that's a reflection on you as the parent a little bit as well.
Interesting.
So you would have some guilt involved. I think you would have to be like, you couldn't denounce them or get rid of them entirely. You would have to start like making amends. And
what if you're like an older person, like an older man, and your child is now a grown adult, and it turns out that they're the most notorious serial killer in Florida history?
Terrible. Well, again, you look at all the serial killers. Have any of them come from a well-adjusted home? Like that's not really a thing.
Not quite.
So,
It's not their MO. What did you do to them, Ryan? What did you do to your child?
Nothing. So I don't know. That's an interesting element as well, because yeah, for serial killers and whatnot, that's crazy. But there are cases where even just like insane white collar crime.
Well, what if you raise your child and you raise them perfectly well, and they like,
that's the thing, because there is some where it's not all on you.
Yeah.
Like, it is
what
just
if you raise them perfectly well, you're an adult, they're an adult, and they just snap and they like kill their partner one day in like a fight, like a domestic dispute? What do you do?
I just don't know how people come back from that. Like, how do you?
You can't. I don't think you ever forget.
You would have all the memories of them, and certainly you would want to think of them as the person when they were, happy and great and everything, and not the person that would do that kind of act. So it's just one of the things where I don't know. Like it kind of.
I would like to think that I would raise my child, in a way that would be opposite of murdering your partner.
I would like to think of it because my child would never do that.
So. No. Let me finish. I would like to think that if I ever have a child, I would raise them with the belief that murdering your partner is bad.
but not even so. Literally,
But
take Rob.
if it were to happen, then I feel like I would feel so much shame towards my child for like abandoning all the principles I tried to instill in him. How could I ever face that child again? How could I ever be a
Abandoned my
parent to that child
child.
again? I would abandon my child. I think I'd do it.
Abandoned my boy.
I would
Yeah, I
be
know.
so ashamed of him. I would feel
Not
so
to
much shame.
be a major
Is
downer,
that
but think
bad?
of Rob Reiner, who, by all accounts, great person.
Well,
Everyone loves him. And
you
his,
have been a downer for that.
I know. Well,
That's crazy. Now I'm
apologies for being
sad.
a downer, but I will be a downer. But Rob Reiner's child, his son, his adult son, who's
Yeah.
obviously had issues with addiction and mental health and all that.
Mhm.
Again, it's just like there's some things out of your control. Like I
Yeah.
imagine, I don't know what went on. Obviously, in the home, we don't actually know how the Reiner household was, but by all accounts, from everything we would know from Rob Reiner as a person, it seems like it would have been a good house to grow up in. And yet, that's what happened. So it's
I
like
believe
hard
all
to,
those other kids thought it was a good house to grow up in,
yeah.
from what I could
So
tell.
so it's just hard to wrestle with that and grapple with that. So again,
Yeah.
it's like if you. So I'm asking you, since you've been in love, and again to the point
Okay.
where you would get there,
Yes.
or possibly have put a ring on it. So
Thought about it.
would there have been things that if revealed, like would you have asked that question? I don't know if you
Like,
did
what's
have
the
these
worst thing you've
conversations.
ever done?
Would you have asked like what's the worst thing you've done, and then would there be lines that you would draw?
I think it's normal to ask that question in a relationship. I think it's abnormal to give an honest answer, you know?
That's the other thing I was asking, because like,
Depending on what you've done. Because, like, if
do
you
you want?
genuinely.
Would you actually want to know? Because in this case, I'd be like, don't tell me. Like I would not want
In
to
this
know.
case, I would not want to
I'd
know.
have to.
No,
I'd have
yeah.
to
I would not
find.
want to know this.
I'd have to look at myself and choose. Like again, like can
If
I live with?
you are Zendaya in this situation and you genuinely believe you have changed and you do not feel that sort of like hatred to humanity in your heart anymore and you don't think you would ever do something like that ever again, yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not telling anybody because I
Yeah.
believe that I've changed and nobody else will believe me. And that's just how it goes.
But then, so this is why I brought up that thing before of
Yes.
people doing heinous, Bonnie and Clyde, natural born killer stuff.
Mhm.
Like, is that the truest expression of love? Because let's say in the situation, right, you get married to this person, but they do have that horrible secret, but they don't tell you.
Mhm.
So you don't actually know them, or at least every part of them. And so it's
Right.
like, do you need that? Do you need to know everything a person's done or thought, including the worst stuff, in order to embrace them and accept them and truly love them? Like have that true love? I don't know. I don't
It's
think
a
so.
good
Like I'm
question.
kind of on the thing of like, I wouldn't want to know.
I
I would
also
not want to
wouldn't
know.
want to know. I think I'm trying to live more in the present. So if that version of you is a version of you that no longer exists, that is not present whatsoever because you've changed so much in the she's 30 at this point in the movie and she's like 12 when she's gonna in the 18 years since that event transpired, like if you changed that drastically, which I believe she could, then what does that knowledge do other than hurt me? Like it hurts Robert Pattinson, you know?
Yeah.
Like it
Again,
doesn't.
it just complicates things and it makes it
It makes me
difficult.
think of you. It makes me think of you differently than how you actually are, which is the exact opposite of what being honest is supposed to do. Being honest
Well,
with your partner,
in a
I think,
way, but
is supposed to bring you closer because you're supposed to understand each other better. If it makes you understand, I think it creates this communication error where he's thinking of her because the whole movie, again, back to the movie, a great like aspect of it is the editing style in which we are getting a glimpse into their thought processes. And you can see Robert Pattinson becoming paranoid and picturing her now as that little girl as opposed to who she actually is. And now his impression of her has changed and it's not accurate anymore. It's he's no longer looking at her, he's looking at who he thinks she is, which is the opposite of what you should be trying to do when communicating in a relationship, in my opinion. I think the whole point of
true.
communication is to be seen and to understand one another. And like in any relationship, romantic, platonic, familial, in any kind of
Podcast.
relationship, podcasting, co-hosting, co-steal, the whole point is to see each other and to know each other when it's like impossible to communicate what actually goes on in your head, at least in my experience. To try and get people to understand how you're feeling about things. And I think that's where the problem arises in the movie. That's what the drama is she has a secret. It gets revealed. She spends the whole movie trying to communicate how she feels about this problem, and he can't hear it because he already has an answer in his head. He already has an image that is persistent and will not go away until the end of the movie when they can get that fresh start. She's trying to do that the whole movie of the fresh start. Let's start over. I want you to see me for who I am right now, as opposed to who I used to be that you are now hung up on.
For sure.
And I love that.
But I
Granted,
do.
the
Yeah, I
secret's
like
pretty
that idea.
bad.
Secret is
Granted,
intense.
this is a pretty bad secret. So I just like the overall message of we were who we were and now we are who we are. And you can either believe me for who I am now, or you can be stuck on the image of who I was in the past.
Indeed. And what you would hope for is a reconciliation of who we were and who we are.
Which is what the individual has to do. And at that point, they just become who they are and can communicate that to other people. I think any
It's
kind of
true.
reconciliation of who you are and who you were can only be done by that person. I'm not expecting you to understand the changes that have happened in my life to better understand me. I just want you to understand me right now because I am the one dealing with the changes I've experienced and how that has impacted me.
True. But there's always going to be that level of, well, in order to know you now, obviously I want to know
Of
what
course.
happened to you in your life, right? I
Of
want to know your
course.
experiences, what went
You want to
down, and then
understand why the changes happened or
yeah,
why
and how
I
those
am who I
things
am. Yeah.
informed you. So not even like again, when you're getting to know someone, not even as far as like, oh, how'd you change from who you were before?
You
Just
just
like
know what happened in
getting
your
to
life.
know who you are. Yeah, part
Yeah.
of your self is your past, right? What you've done,
Of
what you've been
course.
through, what you've overcome, all that stuff, right? And so it would make sense again if you're trying to like, if my objective is like, I want to love Zendaya in her entirety, right? I
That
want
is your
to
objective, isn't it?
love her. And so part of doing that is also understanding everything about her, right? Who
Mhm.
she is today, but also how she got here today, right? Everything that led up to it.
Mhm.
And so part of that would be coming into contact with this horrible secret.
Mhm.
And so when I say the thing like, can people change? And again, I go back and forth this. I do believe people can change, but then it's also like
This is a hard thing to pivot from.
hard thing to pivot
This is
from
a
because
big secret to pivot
there's
from. Bringing the
things
gun
that
to
you
school is outrageous.
certain things that you do that are like tattooed onto your soul. Like
Yeah.
to have ever done or thought or said certain things, it's like even having ever done them is kind of like a really bad mark
Yes.
on like your character, who you
There
are.
is something there because I mean, you watch those videos of the people who are like former Nazis or like former racists, former bigots or
Right.
whatever, and they talk about it, and it just weighs upon them. And like they do a lot of work to get past it. They seem like they're doing well. They can talk about it, which is great, but it's still there.
Yeah. And they
Still
still
something they
did it.
did.
They
The
still
things
did
that they
those
did,
things.
things they saw. They have literal tattoos on their body of swastikas and things like
Yeah.
that. These are like real people who are ashamed and are trying to move on, and it's like a hard thing to
So
move
that's
on
another
from.
good example. Maybe that'll be the drama sequel is Robert Pattinson reveals he used to be a Nazi or something.
Yeah, they
Because
go to have
what
sex,
would
and she
you
goes, "What is that on your back? I've never seen that before." And it's a giant swastika.
so it's like that's another great example because again, it's like somebody you had to be in this worldview, you had to be in this thought process. We know the types of beliefs you would have to
Mhm,
hold, maybe the
mhm.
things you said, maybe things you've done, who knows?
Yes,
But even just like having those thoughts, having that belief system, it's just intense. Like that's crazy. And then even if you've overcome them, even if you've done work, like now you're a proud anti-fascist, you do all
mhm.
these things against the Nazis, whatnot. Even if you've made up for it in action, it's
You still at
still
some point
always
spewed
there.
that hate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still always there, and so it's, like, hard to wrap your brain around it. And for me, as someone who generally I think of myself as someone who can be more forgiving and at least wants to believe that, I still always come back to that sort of thing.
It's
And again, it
difficult. It's easy when it's somebody who is like a media personality or just like on the internet or on YouTube who's just like a distance. When you're thinking about like your fiance, like your partner that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you weigh it in that light, it becomes difficult. Of like, if I found out my fiance was a Nazi for like 4 years, like a hardcore Nazi with Nazi tattoos and marched and things like that,
yeah.
that might be a deal breaker. I'm not gonna lie. You know
Well,
me,
and
I'm
then
anti deal breaker. That might be a deal breaker. Former
your
Nazi might be
ultimatum
a deal
is,
breaker.
here we go. So because again, the thought
That's not even an
too
ultimatum. It's just a deal breaker. I'm not posing the ultimatum of what would be the ultimatum? Make me forget that you were ever a Nazi, or we can't be
yeah,
together.
rewind, do time travel, and make me forget.
Yeah.
But would you accept that though? If you were like, say you found that out, and then you're given two possible pills. One is, there's nothing actually in it, and then the other allows you to forget that revelation, and
You
you
get a
could go
sugar
on with the
pill.
rest,
You get a sugar pill and a roofie. Which one are you taking?
the rest of your life. You could go on, being happy with this person while having forgotten that deepest, darkest secret that they shared with you. Would you take that? Because again, that's what we're talking about, right? Like, can you? It's the question posed in this is like, can you forget or just move past
Legitimately, I fear
that
in the
revelation.
Matrix situation, I would stay in the simulation. I think I may take the blue
You would
pill
take the pill,
and I
so
would
you could forget,
forget.
and you could.
Maybe if
That's what I'm
I
saying. So it's like
believed
if you feel that strongly that you're like, oh, I would rather
if
not
I
know, so I
believe
could be
they
this person.
changed, this is one of those things that's like I believe that you changed, but I just don't think I can be close to you because of your past. But I believe that
Right.
you're a different person, and I wish you the best. But we can't be married to each other. If you gave me a pill that made me forget all that, and I could just remember who she is, who I believe that she actually is, as opposed to who she was, I think maybe I'd take the pill. Do all of my friends and families? Is this like an Eternal Sunshine kind of plot where everybody else still remembers? They just have to keep the secret because
So that's the other elements of the drama that I think is interesting. Obviously, your dream scenario touched on cancel culture and all that. And so this one isn't, they're not public figures getting canceled, but within their actual social circle,
it is
there's the
gossipy. Yeah,
ramifications, right? It's the gossip and whatnot. And so, Pattinson ostensibly is going to lose his two friends there, especially after
yeah.
the wedding fiasco and whatnot.
Oh
And
my
who knows
god,
the ramifications at the job? Like they just blew with their life here. Definitely going to be a topic of conversation. And
kissing his
so if he stays
coworker.
with her going forward, people are going to know that he like stuck with someone that almost did a school shooting.
And
So
that
it's like,
he kissed another woman like the day before their wedding or the day of their wedding.
oh, that's true.
That because that
Yeah,
gossip definitely got around. I love that cut where he's giving the speech and he's like, and to do something with Misha of all people, and then Misha's boyfriend goes, "What did he say?" Misha goes, "Nothing." Really
it's like, why am
good.
I getting around this?
The
Yeah, yeah.
comedic timing of the
So,
movie is fantastic, dude. There was a good like the last 20 minutes of the movie where we're actually at the wedding where I was like cringing away from the screen because I couldn't watch it. It was so fucking hard to watch. It
dude,
was brutal.
when the father was giving the speech, and then there's like the audio feedback, which sounded like a gunshot. That was crazy.
Bro, the
That
whole
was
movie is fantastic. It's just so good.
so yeah. What I do love about it is the conversations that it poses. This is one of those again where it's like, oh no, it's like the past lives or materialists or this, where it's like now you're gonna have to ask these questions afterwards. What would you do in this
Yeah.
situation? John Quinones, what would you do if
What would you
your
do?
significant other? So I don't know. Again, that's what it's interesting because
It's tough.
if you wanted to believe in true love, like I guess what they're posing here,
But I
it's
don't
that
believe in true
you
love.
would accept it
I don't
because you
believe
would
in true
accept
love and I don't believe in
all the
soulmates.
warts.
I don't believe in accepting all awards. Do you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I couldn't, but I've never felt that strongly where I would like feel the instinct to look past.
This stupid thing is the people who do believe in true love would just be like, well, I wouldn't fall in love with her because I would know. Like I would never date somebody who had those
People
thoughts
say that.
because
That's
people would say that's their logic. It's 100% their logic. If I
a bit
said
silly.
what if I raised the hypothetical, what if your fiance was actually a Nazi when they were younger and you found out when you're about to get married, they would go, I would never almost marry a former Nazi. I would not be attracted to that kind of person. That's their
That's funny.
loophole.
What was the
That's a
at
crazy
the one?
loophole.
It is crazy. At the one bar, I had some sort of question that was similar to this of like, if you were old and
Yes,
you
it
found out
was
that your
if you
spouse
kissed
had
another
cheated
person.
or kissed. Okay.
We were trying to make it as innocent as possible. We were like, you are like 70 years old. Your kids are all grown up and moved out. One of them maybe even has grandkids, and you find out that like your significant other, your like your husband or your wife or whatever, kissed another person. Are you divorcing them? And some of our friends were like, yeah, absolutely, they cheated. And I'm like, that's
And
insane,
others were
dude.
like, no. But now let's
After
rephrase it. So
40 years,
you're 70 years old, and then your significant other says in middle school, 50 years ago, I was gonna shoot up the school. Then
I
what would
would
you do?
not like
You would
it.
just write it out, or would you
I
be
would
like,
absolutely write it out.
"We're
At
done"?
that point,
Yeah, when you're that old. So again, it's
there's
like,
no
why?
there's no
Why
way
leave it
because
there?
after if you're genuinely
Why does
married to
it
someone
change?
for 50 years, if you're married to someone for 50 years, you know that person. You know them. Now, if you've always gotten like creepy vibes from your wife and then she says that, then yeah, maybe I would divorce her. But I probably would have divorced her earlier than that if I was getting creepy vibes like that. But if I thought she was just normal and we married for 50 years and she said that, it would be a shock, absolutely, because I'd be so against her character. But it's been
Yeah,
50 years. I know that you're not the kind of person who's going to go shoot up a school anymore. In this situation, they've only known each other for like 2 years and they're about to get married. So like it's the stress of like making that commitment, like everybody gets cold feet on wedding day, because of just the commitment factor itself. But now you're
yeah,
committing to somebody who has held the secret from you that is like a very earth shattering secret. That makes it even more compelling.
for sure. But it's like
50
where
years?
along the
Come on.
lines though?
50 years I
Because
would not care.
a lot of time you'd be with them. But again, what if you feel again just like that intense level of love?
Yeah.
As you
Well,
would in
Robert
the
Pattinson
start of the
does,
relationship. He
right?
does, and we see his choice. But I just think that's funny.
That's the
The
struggle.
kissing thing as well is interesting because it's like again, what line would you draw? So like if you were dating right now for 25 and you're with your significant other and they went to the club and they kissed somebody, they come back and tell you, is that a done deal?
It depends how long we've been dating, and it depends whether it's a trust thing, right? It's not about you cheated, I'm done. It's about do I trust you? You know,
To
that's
not
all that
cheat again?
matters. Yes.
Okay. So you would accept one cheating, but
Not
again, then how do you
necessarily.
evaluate? Because
It's.
you're like, if you're the type of person that would cheat once, the potential is there
I
for you
would
to cheat again.
again. There's not enough details about the situation. I need to know what happened. Were we fighting? Did you think we were on a break? We were on a break.
Where do you
Who was it
fall on the
with?
friends thing? Were they on a break or were they not? And therefore, was it acceptable?
I think they were on a break. I don't think it was cheating, but I understand why Rachel wouldn't want to go back to him because why would you make a move on
That's
somebody
100% fair.
immediately
That's a
after?
great because
That's
again,
my opinion.
Rachel 100% would be feeling some type of way about that without a
Yes.
doubt, and she's
But I don't think
100%
he cheated on her.
good to feel that, but it wasn't cheating.
I don't think it was cheating.
It's just not cheating. They were on a
That's
break,
my opinion.
straight up.
I think it is crazy work of Ross to sleep with a woman immediately. Absolutely crazy work.
I mean, yeah,
It's
sure.
human. It's a very human thing that
It's
he
human,
does in the
and
show.
people
But I think it's absolutely
cope in
crazy work.
different ways.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Understandably
I guess.
justifiable for Rachel to not want to go back to Ross at all.
So on what level though? So if you guys aren't fighting, if everything seems to be okay in the relationship,
if
it would
she's
feel
just
like more of
out
a
having
betrayal.
fun and I'm not there, a little bit, because like,
So
then
would
you
that
weren't
be
even
worse or
like.
better than if you guys were actively fighting and then now it's like, oh, is she getting back at me or oh, am I pushing
But
her
is this
away?
like
And
a
now she's doing
random
other
guy
people?
that she kissed? Did the guy kiss her and she just like didn't lean away at
Well,
first? Is it someone she knows? Is it a stranger? There's too many factors here, you know? I would want the full story, and then it's a gut feeling, you know? It's my gut telling me, do I trust this
it's a
person?
guy she didn't know at the club. They were both drunk. She kissed him.
I think it's easier to forgive. It's not
Really?
great. I don't feel good about it. I'm gonna be upset about it.
So you
I'm
wouldn't
definitely
cut the
gonna
relationship off. And now follow
maybe
up question.
not. How long have
Would
we
you
been
give
dating? How long have we been dating in this scenario?
would you give an ultimatum that she's no longer allowed to go to the club alone?
No, I wouldn't. But how long have we been dating at this point in this fake relationship?
2 years.
2 years is kind of short. I don't think I would though. I guess at this age, 2 years isn't short. I'm used to being like 18.
That's what I'm saying.
And
2
2 years
years is
feels like
kind of
nothing, right? Nowadays, 2 years is like I'm gonna marry you. If I'm
a long
dating somebody
time.
for 2
Yeah.
years, we're gonna get married. Nowadays, yeah. I guess we've gotten older, but
Running out
hey
of
man,
time.
you're in high school. 2 years is just half of high school. Shit.
True.
No, I think 2 years on, especially if I'm planning to marry this woman, it's definitely something that upsets me. It's definitely gonna be a long conversation. It's definitely something that's like I need to understand. I have to see where she's coming from and her response. Like obviously she's coming to me and admitting it, which is a good first step in like rebuilding trust there.
Mhm.
And depending on how upset she is with herself and like how bad she feels about it, I think it's doable to come back from that. Like you were intoxicated, you were feeling bad maybe about something like a fight we had, you were at the club. There was another guy there who was intoxicated. You weren't thinking, you kissed another guy. It didn't go any farther than that. I think we can still come back from that. I don't think it's outrageous. I'm upset 100%.
Okay, so she was sober.
Okay.
She kissed the guy.
Okay.
Still a random guy.
Still a random guy. Definitely more upset. Might not be able to come back from that one. There's no impaired judgment
if she's
there.
drunk, you're okay with it?
There's a lot of impaired judgment with an
Again, you speak to
intoxicated
me as someone because I haven't been drunk, right? So I
You've
don't
never
know.
been drunk before, yes.
the
As someone who's been
inhibition.
drunk,
But what I hear is it just makes you, more. There's less inhibition, so you're more likely
Yes.
to do the things that you would want to do, but don't because of social anxiety or
is
social
true.
pressure or whatever it is, right?
This is true.
So her being drunk is still a reflection of her desires. If she,
Yes.
yeah, if she still wants.
But
to
I
get
think
kissed
it's natural to have desires to want to kiss people you find attractive.
when you're drunk.
No, just in
When
general.
around-
Like
Well, for
if
sure.
you see
but
someone who's
you don't act
attractive,
on that though. Well,
of
that's
course
like
not. But that's the point is as a sober person, she would not act upon that. But drunk, that is just what she's feeling, which I understand those feelings. I'm a human being. I've seen attractive people. I have had feelings of like attraction towards people that I see. This is like a real thing.
Sure.
But if you're sober and you're doing it, it means that you've gone past the point of like needing any kind of inebriation.
You're clear-headed and you
made the clear-headed choice to kiss another person, which means I was not in any regard whatsoever in your brain as a sober brain. Drunk is like, you're not even thinking about me. You're not thinking about anything. You're intoxicated. You're like in the very much moment. There's an attractive person in front of you. You kiss them. You feel bad about it. You tell me when you're sober. I'd be upset. Again, I'm upset. In this situation, I am upset, of course. I might move on though.
But you would still not give an ultimatum for them about going to the club.
No, because
this is just
she can get drunk anywhere.
Listen to our past live.
She can get drunk anywhere. This has nothing to do with the club. She can get drunk anywhere.
Well, but it's more likely that you're gonna. I mean,
is the trust in our relationship hurt? The trust is absolutely hurt in the relationship, 100%. That's something we have to build back together.
Right.
And so if she's not willing to put in that work, then it's over, right? That's it. But if she's like, I feel so horrible, I will do anything to earn your trust back. I would love to work with you. Like, we can do this together.
Now, let's say she says all that, but she had sex with the person. Then it's out the window, right?
Dude, that is a lot tougher.
Going along with it.
Because I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've been intoxicated.
You see people and you don't want to just kiss them. You want to go all the way.
If you're drunk and you kiss a person, I feel like that's not so outrageous, right? But I've been drunk. I feel like to go through the process of like fully having sex with a person, even drunk, there's like a lot of like just free willingness to that and like a lack of care. It's a lot of effort for a drunk person to go through. Like, you can't be that drunk. If you're wasted, you're not having sex with anybody. Probably. I mean, in my experience.
Right.
I don't know.
So
sex is hard to come back from, for sure.
Cut it off there. I don't know. Again, it's just, and it's like, if it's the right person, if everything else was like lined up perfectly, would you?
Do you want this to happen to me? Do you want me to be shattered?
No, I'm just saying. Now I'm going.
You want me to? You're trying to manifest me the perfect woman in my life, and then have her cheat on me 2 years in when I'm about to marry her.
And then what would you do?
You're trying to manifest this. I think I think I would end it. Yeah.
Would you want to know? Again, that's one of those things of like, would you want to know? Again,
a kiss. I think I can build. Of course, I would want to know. Of course, I would want to know. That being said, if I never found out, and then she never cheated on me again, like if this was never a problem again, what's the difference?
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
If I die not knowing, from my perspective, there is no difference. Again, the only counterpoint to that is
there's no difference. But again, say an afterlife situation, eternity, or what's the defending your life? Yeah. So if you were able
look at my DVD copy on your desk, fuck you. You got to watch that fucking movie so we can. Don't show it to me.
I watched this movie. I'll have to rewatch it whenever we do the movie.
You already watched it?
Podcast, yeah.
Fuck you.
I told you that. But anyway, so you're there, and then you get to rewatch. Like whenever you first gave it to me, I watched it that week, and then I just dropped the ball and everything. So you look back, and then you realize, oh, she did cheat on me, and she never told you, and so you're able to live that whole life. Which is why I liked eternity, because these are the questions we could be grappling with in eternity of like, what would you choose?
They don't dive into that.
Yeah, they do.
Not really.
Not of like them cheating, but of like, which one would you go with? Who would you spend your afterlife with? Would you get the chance to your true love that you didn't get to spend your life with, or would you go with the other one that you did spend your life with?
They spend too much time making jokes that aren't funny. Well, for a movie that could have been more, I think it could have been more philosophical. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean maybe. But anyway, I don't know. It's an interesting question where you could look back and be like, maybe our love truly wasn't everything it was supposed to be because A, she cheated on you, and then B, she lied to you about it.
No, there's
But
no
if she had lied
fucking
to you about
way.
it,
No,
you
no,
would
no, no,
have.
no.
What
Are
are you
we
saying?
talking
Why?
about like a one-time incident, or are we talking like I'm looking back at the video and it's just me getting cucked every week? You know, like what are we
No,
talking
it's
about
just
here?
one time. It was just the one time,
There is no, absolutely no way I
sober-minded,
could live
where
a
she did it.
full life with a partner and I
And she
rewatch
never
the whole
tells you.
thing
You never
and I
find out.
see one clip of them, of her having sex, like a moment of weakness with another person, but I see a whole life of living with them and I feel like she didn't love me. There's no way. I might feel hurt. I might feel like sad as a result of that, but I'm still like, it might take me a while, but I'm still going to feel like she loved me after rewatching a whole lifetime.
Well,
Come on.
that's the thing. That's a complication. I'm sure she did love you, but she still did this horrible breach of
Yeah,
trust
absolutely.
against you. And had you found out during the time you're together at that moment, you would probably have said, I can't trust you anymore. We can't go on with this love. You would end it there.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. She never told you. So you lived the rest of your life having this love for her, but you
And
realized
did I
it
have a good
wasn't
life with her?
sure, but it wasn't
Then if
fully
I'm dead,
informed.
then what does it matter? I had a good life. If I'm
Well, but
dead,
you're
what
looking
does it
back now.
matter?
Wouldn't you feel some type of way of like, wow, like I
I'm
didn't
sure
get this
gut reaction, I'd feel upset.
this
I'd feel
perfect
like a
love
little
where
hurt.
we were actually committed to each other for our whole lives. Instead, she cheated on me and I never knew about
But
it.
it
And so
was a perfect love.
I was
Even
in a
without
great
the
love,
even
but it
even
wasn't
without the
perfect.
full commitment, if I
Is getting
rewatch,
cheated on perfect? No, that
no.
wouldn't be true love. Your idea of true love at minimum would be not getting cheated on. And so now you'd be reckoning with the fact that you
What is
didn't
with
have true
you
love.
and sex? It's all about sex. It's not about sex.
I was
If I
about to
if
spin
I
it back once you answered this, and I said, now let's say that she almost shot him at school. And then what
no
would
no,
you do?
it's it's
I started
50
with kissing.
years we're talking
It's
about.
just the cheating is the most significant way
It
you
has,
could breach
it
a
has
relationship.
nothing to do with this though. It's, if you look back at 50 years with another person, there's going to be bad moments and there's going to be good moments. There's no actual thing is perfect. That doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
But it's perfect to me,
so let's not say perfect
right?
love. Again, let's say true love, where you feel
If
like
I was
you know
willing to
this
be with this
person in
person
their
for 50
entirety.
years, unless I absolutely fucking hated them the entire time,
Well, why
and I
would you be?
died hating them, which hopefully that doesn't happen. I think I'm wise enough to know that if I hate somebody, I should divorce them. But if I get to 50 years and we had, ups and downs, but I still love them at the end of it, if I
Wouldn't you feel
rewatch all of that,
shortchanged though? This is what I'm getting at.
maybe at first,
You'd feel at least betrayed. You'd feel shortchanged. You would feel like if you had a
but
life.
what's the alternative?
Let's put
The
it this way:
alternative,
the alternative. Let's say you had found out during the time you guys
yeah,
broke up, so now you're no longer
yeah,
with girl A. You go and find girl B. You
okay.
guys get
Who's
married. She
girl
never
B?
cheats on you, but maybe it's not, the highest highs. The
But who's
highs
girl
aren't as
B?
high. It's just some
There
girl.
is no girl B. There's only girl A that you already married and spent a whole life with.
Well,
It
I'm
doesn't
saying
matter.
I just told you
You
the
can't.
alternative.
That doesn't exist though, because girl B doesn't exist. There is no girl B. There's only girl A because you're already dead. It's too late.
I'm
You
saying
can't
imagine.
change the past, and you can't
Imagine
imagine.
these are the
You can't
options.
run a hypothetical.
I'm running a hypothetical. I'm
But
running
you
the fact that
can't.
you are in the afterlife looking back on your life like defending your life. So this is what
But
I'm
you
going to pose to
can't.
you is what if
That's the whole lesson of defending your life.
one
Is that you
life
can't live your life with regret. You can't look back and say, "I wish I had done this differently. I wish I had done that differently. I wish I hadn't lived with fear."
lesson
You
of
can't.
defending your life is you get to be with Meryl Streep in the afterlife and then go on to your next phase.
Damn
I don't think
straight.
that's so one path, right? Here's the pill. Here's the pill.
Okay.
So the pill is nothing changes, right? You're with girl A your whole
Yes.
life, okay? But she did cheat on you. Never told you about it, but she did cheat on you. It was just the one time, but it was sober minded with a guy that you always had a feeling about.
Yeah.
She was with, but she always denied it. And then option B is that you find out when girl A cheats on you somehow, and then you would do whatever you do. Would you break up and then you would now be single, and then maybe you find another person in life and then you marry them and then you're dedicated for the rest of your life? But with that love, again, you tell me, I don't know. I don't know if you've been in love with multiple people though. So if the
I wouldn't
highs
say
weren't as
multiple
high
people.
with girl B, then would you have taken girl A when there was that betrayal of love that you never
Yeah.
knew about during the time, but now you know afterwards, and now you know it wasn't as perfect a love or true love as you thought? Or would you
Again,
go with girl B, where there is full commitment throughout the entire relationship, but the highs aren't as high? Again, I don't know if love works like that, but let's say in the truest love, like
would you
you
rather
would
date a
imagine.
baddie that cucks you, or would you rather date an okay girl that is super loyal?
Exactly.
Is this what we're doing?
What would you choose? You would obviously choose the one where you didn't get betrayed. So,
No, dude. No, I would no. Listen.
and then who would you choose? You'd
Listen.
get cucked.
Are you saying the choice is I'm being presented this in the moment without any knowledge of what the future holds, or I am living a full life with girl A and then going back in time and making a choice?
Yes.
The second one. There is no fucking way, unless I had a horrible marriage outside of the cucking, there is no fucking way that I'm going to change my entire 50 years of life just because my wife had sex with another person once. There's no fucking way.
Okay.
Because I felt slighted at the fact that they had a moment of weakness. There's no fucking way.
All right. Interesting way of framing that. I don't know that you just feel slighted over, again, somebody breaching your relationship in the most significant way possible of cheating on you. But
over 50 years, is it really that big of a deal?
So now put yourself in Robert Pattinson's shoes. All right, imagine yourself 50 years down the line where you're happy with Zendaya.
I want you to answer the question. Do you really think it's that big of a deal if your partner cheats on you once in 50 years? Do you really think, and you find out at the very end of the 50 years, do you really think it's a big deal?
The point that I'm getting at is if you wanted true love, like again, say your objective is true love.
Why would I? Okay, yes.
And you spend your life, again, you think you're in this awesome relationship, you think it's great, but then you find out at the end that there was cheating in the past. Would you feel like you had true love at that point? Would you feel like it was the best that it could have been? I would say no, you wouldn't.
I don't think that's why I'm posing. I do not think in 50 years that is going to have. I don't think it's going to move the needle marker that much. You know, if we're calling it the needle marker from no love all the way to true love, like on a radar here.
Yeah,
I don't think it's moving the needle.
It wouldn't move the needle at all. It would.
I don't think it's slamming it all the way to the other side and saying it's not true love. I'm saying it's gonna like tick slightly of like, ooh, that kind of sucks. But there were a lot of problems in our marriage. Maybe I yelled at her too many times. Maybe
let's stop imagining things for this thing.
This is just stupid.
What I'm getting
at. So stupid to say that like, oh, I didn't experience true love because my partner cheated on me. Fuck you. Yes, maybe I did.
Okay, well, that's your take. I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
Feel again like, was it true love, or at least the best love that it could have been in that case? You would think no. So again, would you rather accept
I wouldn't think no.
love that maybe isn't at its truest form? Because again, the reason I did the whole a baddie that cooks you or some other girl that doesn't. What is the truer form of love? Obviously, it would be the one where you guys were committed the entire time rather than cheating on each other. Obviously,
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think there's other things there's too many other factors. You're like making it too black and white, Ryan. It's not black and white.
I'm saying everything else being equal. Yes,
it's you would love, choose the one where Tars. You it's always been love.
It's and then second of all,
no, he says Tars. He says it's love, Tars.
Oh, Murph.
You fucking dick.
What would you
I'm quoting the movie right.
All else equal, one or the other. Let's not be stupid. Black or white. Okay,
there's no such thing as all else equal.
We're bringing things to the extreme.
Yeah, all else equal, she's the exact same woman, and I could choose whether or not she has sex with another man. I guess I'm going to choose that she doesn't have sex with another man. What are we talking about here?
Perfect. Thank you. Exactly that. So all else equal, you would choose the one where you're committed in the relationship and not get cheated.
But that's not the hypothetical you posed to me. You posed girl A, girl B, two different women with two different relationships.
Well, yeah, that's not saying. Well, because sure, there's differences in who the girl is and your different.
You telling me that girl A and girl B are identical clones with the identical personalities, except one of them is more predisposed to cheat on me than the other one? And yeah, I'm gonna pick the identical clone that is not predisposed to cheat on me.
You just said there, I think, is reflective of what I'm trying to get at, which is if you find somebody, say girl A, that you think really is the one, but there's like again this horrible thing that happens in the past during the relationship, would you continue with it, believing that the rest of your life would be great aside from this one factor? Or would you end it there in pursuit of a relationship with somebody else? Again, you have no idea. There's many fish in the sea, but you have no idea.
It's just too vague of a hypothetical. It's just too vague.
You would go with them in pursuit of true love. So again, tying it back into the film.
I'm never in the pursuit of true love.
Loves Zendaya so much. Obviously, the preferable route would be that she didn't try and shoot up a school. But now he knows that she did. So can you overlook that?
That's a good question.
I don't know. It in order to, see a future where she's girl A. She takes you all the way to in the line. You finish on your deathbed, and you
find out that she cucked you.
No. And then
that's girl A. Girl A is the cucking one.
Like happily ever after. And it's because you overlooked this thing. So again, what would you rather have? Like knowing. So I was getting at two different things. One is that can you really have true love if you don't know this one terrible secret that's being kept?
I'm not looking for true love, though. I don't think anybody should be looking for true love.
Just saying, like, the love that you think
I
you
don't believe in
deserve and
soulmates.
accept. Let's say that instead. So
Yeah.
would you accept
Yes.
love where you're getting cheated on all the time?
All the time? No. I would break
Okay.
up with them.
So one time.
I don't know. It depends.
Okay.
We went over this already. It depends.
So what we're seeing there is there's a spectrum, right, of love that you believe you are worth.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's a spectrum. Yes, I would agree.
So am I saying true love to mean like some perfect fairy tale true love?
You're
I'm just
making it seem
saying
black and white. You're saying you're
true
giving
love
like a
that you would
0
accept.
1 value.
I can just because it's an easy concept to understand, right? You have this
I'm a smart guy,
romanticization
Ryan. I don't
of
need
true
to.
love. So we
I
boil
do.
it down to hypotheticals to make it easier to deal with this stuff. So let's
I'm not
just
gonna
take it
lie. I
on
do
your
not have a
spectrum.
romanticization of romance anymore. I have a very
Oh,
I have a very practical view of romance, which is that I think when you meet somebody, it either works or it doesn't, and it just keeps working. And at the very end of the day, either you break up or one of you dies, and that's the end. And there's no alternative. One of those two things will happen.
well,
Either the
buddy,
relationship ends or one of you ends. And that's it, right?
don't write a romance film, man.
No. I think it is
We're,
romantic. I think it is.
we're
It's
I think it's
true, right?
pragmatic. It's by definition not romantic, I would say. I think it's probably realistic,
But
but
that means that the person that you think is your soulmate is just the person you're going to die with, right? That's what people would say a soulmate is.
sure.
But they're going to say that the person they're with is their soulmate until they break up. And they're going to keep saying that. And at no point are they going to know who their real soulmate is because they don't know when they're going to die. So there's no
Right.
such thing as a soulmate. It just doesn't
Yeah.
exist, which means there's no such thing as true love. There is no true love. There is good love and there is bad love and there is no love. There's love that works and there's love that does not work.
Mm-hmm.
I have experienced both
You have?
in the same relationship. I got to cut this out now too.
No, keep it in. That was good.
Good God.
But I think that's great. But as you were pointing out, there's bad love and then there's good love. And so let's just keep it like that. Bad love versus good love.
The question that you're asking is there enough good love in the relationship between Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in this movie for Robert Pattinson to get over this hang up that he has about their relationship?
I think it boils down to
That is
this.
the question you're asking.
I think,
And I don't know if there's enough good love. I don't know.
because the true love, again, the thing that I was saying there, like take it to its extreme of like, if you were to be able to,
If you were to be
have
cucked
that
every day, every second of every day.
romantic version, would it include, knowing everything about a person and accepting it, and then them knowing everything about you and accepting it?
That's the thing is it's not something I really thought about before watching this movie, and it was definitely something I thought about afterward. And I really don't know if I want to know everything about my partner. I don't know if you should know everything about your partner.
Right.
I think
that's
you
the question I'm posing.
I
It's
think
like
you should
true love
know.
could be that, but I don't know that that's realistic.
I think the good kind of love that you can have is feeling like you know your partner, who they are, and a lot of that is informed by how they lived, and you can learn a lot about that. But I don't think you have to learn everything about how they lived to understand who they are right now. So I think it's okay.
You'd embrace good love where you feel obviously a strong enough understanding of who they are, and obviously a love towards that, but also an understanding and an acceptance of the fact that they have things that they've said, done, believed in that they will not give to you, will not share with you, and you're happy with that. Or at least, again, it's still good love. You can still have good love in that sort of
The
dynamic.
problem is it's like Schrodinger's drama, Like I do not know that the drama exists until it's told to me. So it's not something I even think about. In the same way that like I don't know that my partner has cheated on me until I find out.
Right.
And so it's not something that I'm going to think about at all. And so there's no reason for me to breach trust. There's no reason for me to be upset about the relationship. There's no reason for me to think that there's bad love in this relationship because I don't know.
Right. So if it's
The
there,
second that
would you
the
want
second
to
that
know? That's the
I
question.
don't know. Because it depends on the information. It depends on how like close it is to our actual relationship, how like relevant it is in our actual relationship. There's too many factors involved. And the hard part is I'm not the one who makes the decision about whether I know or not, because I can't go up to my partner and go, tell me all your secrets. I need to know everything. Tell me everything. Tell me everything. Tell me everything. Because that's psychopathic. I need to trust
Right.
that they're going to tell me the relevant information that they're comfortable sharing with for me to get a full understanding of who they are as a person. so that I can trust that I know them when I go to put a ring on their finger and say, I'm going to be with you forever, or make any kind of a commitment, moving in together, having a kid together, any kind of serious life commitment. I need to know who that person is going into it. Otherwise, yes, if it turns out I didn't know them very well and I found out afterward, I will feel slighted. I know plenty of people who that I work with and friends that I have that are in relationships with people that they're no longer dating, but like maybe they have a kid together or they are still in contact with one another, and it is not going well because they are not the person that they thought that they were. Because, or maybe they've changed. Maybe they've changed since they initially met, which is also possible, which is a whole other. We've been talking about the past this whole time. We haven't even talked about the future.
Right.
But in terms of the past, like you could meet somebody and you could think you know them and you marry them and you maybe have a kid together, and all of a sudden stressful situations that had never come up before start happening and you start seeing the response to that stress, and all of a sudden they're a different person. And that can be shocking. That can be scary. That's something that is the secret being revealed to you by force of this is who this person is. If the information that this person has about them is not going to tell me anything more about who they are as a person right now in this moment, but it is something that they're ashamed about and they don't want to tell me, I think it's okay if they don't say it. That being said, I have no control over it because I don't even know the information exists. It has nothing to do with me. I don't get to choose whether or not I don't get to choose how much I know about my partner and how much I don't. All I get to choose is whether or not I trust I know everything about them, or I trust that I know enough. Mm-hmm. That's where the choice lies. And in this case, Robert Pattinson went into this movie as his character, trusting that he knew Zendaya. And the drama is that he's finding out that he didn't really know her, or at least not in the way that he thought he did. And now he's hung up on that image because that trust has been broken. And she's trying to repair that by saying, you did know me. You did know me. I'm the same person you've known this whole time. This is a bad thing. This is horrible. I'm okay talking about it, but I am not that person anymore. This has nothing to do with who I am and the person that you've met. I would like to start over and move on because this isn't me. Indeed. And he's hung up too much.
That's my gun to your head, Dylan. What would you do?
I don't know. I don't know. I like to think that I would go through with it, but bringing the gun to school is crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Outrageous. Posting pictures with it. I don't know. That would be such a stressful situation. The week of the wedding, too, is insane.
I know. That's a great concept for a movie. Again, they're doing every wedding appointment, right?
Yes.
The photography,
it's
the
genius.
final dinners, all that.
This movie's fantastic.
Like you're on the track heading towards the wedding and you can't get off when you just want more time to like figure this out. All the pressure's there. So yeah, that's a really good way to set everything up. Yeah, I don't know. Again, my position is
you would not want
who hasn't been in love is that again, if you were looking at like true love, if that were to exist, would probably look like knowing all the flaws of somebody, but looking past them because all the great things that you share and have done together and feel about each other is that much greater that it can overcome that. And so even when you do horrible things, you share those secrets, then you can move past it together, as they do at the end of the drama here. But
again,
this movie has shown is that I, like for me, again, someone who has been in love, hasn't felt that intensely. I'm like, I don't think I can do that. So I'm like coming to terms with the fact that like, again,
you will never experience true love.
True love. I'm like, in that sense of like fully knowing a person, including all the warts, just isn't going to happen. And would I be okay with that?
Exist.
And I'm like,
it's not real. True love is not real. It's not our thing.
But again, even if you define it as like good love, like the good love that you would just love that you would feel your worth, it's like you would kind of have to move past it because there will be those things that they never tell you.
But then that's also, the thing is
as we've described here, we wouldn't want to know. We just wouldn't want to know. So we wouldn't want to know that. So we would have to give up, again, what I'm calling like the true love, where you're able to love warts and all. We would forget that, say like, we don't even want that. We just want the good love where we know enough about the person. And then we don't ever get told the bad secrets so that we don't have to reckon with the fact that now we have to say like, okay, is that a deal breaker? I just think it's
I don't mind the bad love. I just want to know you as a person. And I think in this specific situation that this movie's in, I think Robert Pattinson's character did genuinely know Zendaya's character in that moment that they knew each other for those 2 years. I think he knows her. Like,
Yeah.
I think he is like in love with her, the person, not like the idea of her or his like imagination of her. I think they know each other very well and they're deeply in love with each other. And again, I think the problem is that image of her that the real version of her that he's in love with has been replaced with an image of her as a child with a gun in a school. And he
Yeah.
can't get rid of it. And that is what the movie's trying to like hammer home is like, should you think of should you imagine your partner in their worst moment? Is that like how is that how anybody should be pictured, is in their worst moment? Is this all they are? And I don't think that's all people are. The tough part is, like, if I knew Zendaya as like in this movie as like a slightly distant person, this would be an easy thing to get over for me. Of like, that's terrible. We can talk about it. I would love to hear your perspective. We can move on. As your fiance, that's tough. That's tough. And this movie like shows why that's hard. It's hard to get past that image because this is the person you're spending the rest of your life with, and he goes through the process of like, oh my god, what if she's crazy? What if she's a psychopath? She could be a psychopath. What if the person you're dating is a psychopath and she's not who you thought they were?
Right. All the little moments of when she like slaps him once or twice when they're in bed.
Yeah, she's like
Just a
yelling
little,
at the driver.
yeah, he's like thinking of things of like, oh, like does she have a screw loose? She got these anger issues going
Yeah,
on. It's violent tendencies, so it makes you again recalibrate everything. Like you
it's
go
moving
back
at
and
the
you
speed
think
of
through it
thought, and it's
all.
really good.
And so yeah, I think it's just well done. But again, what
Yeah,
I love about it most is the way it poses these questions for us to think on.
yeah,
And again, yeah, what would you do? The ultimate, what would you do here?
yeah.
Would you go along with it? Um,
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards no, but again, if
I'm also kind of
it's
leaning towards
Zendaya,
no.
we can talk. But
Okay.
otherwise, just like I'm like I don't know. That's
Uh,
that's heavy stuff.
Ultimately, though, he decides to go through with it. They get their moment where they get to start over. I think it's a really touching ending, genuinely, for a movie that was like very silly throughout and had like very crazy high octane moments. I feel the same way about Dream Scenario. I think Dream Scenario has a very cathartic ending as well, and I kind of like that about this. Is there is like a solution to this problem, and it's that uh, they feel horrible about the things that they have done. I think the easiest thing for Robert Pattinson to get over is that he's now kissed his coworker, and now he has this, oh my god, I have done something horrible. Now that image is all she's going to think of me, and seeing her being willing to start over makes him willing to start over and just erase those images that they have of each other. And
Yeah,
just
partially. I would say it's an obvious crash out moment, though.
it is a crash
He
out moment for
he's
sure.
number
Yeah,
one stopped it, and number two, he only did it because again he's crashing out. So it's like that's not a
he is
real
crashing
him
out.
cheating. It was just him
He's still,
bugging
it's
out.
still like, it's
He
the
did
wedding
it, like he
day.
did
It's
the
still pretty
action,
bad.
right?
It's the
Not
wedding
good,
day.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely not quite on the same caliber. I would say.
No,
Um,
definitely not. I mean, it's definitely an easier thing for Zendaya to get over than for Robert Pattinson. Absolutely. I mean, kissing another person on the wedding day is still rough, but he has been under a lot of stress.
yeah,
It's been a very stressful week for Robert Pattinson. Dude, when he's talking to the cousin in the street, it's so hard to watch. He's just trying to be like, she's a good person. Please, she's a good person. Can you just believe me? She's a good person.
yeah.
It is so hard to watch. But no, I
Um,
like that the ending is cathartic. I like that they are able to reconcile in some way. And I like that it ends on kind of a happy note. I think that is a positive ending for like the message that this movie is trying to send.
I think it's funny. He told his friends because he was trying to like rationalize why she felt this way, and he came up with a reason for why she didn't go through with the shooting that
Mhm.
wasn't the truth to try and make it
Yes.
more
He just
palatable to them.
lies. Just
Yeah,
completely lies.
and also the fact that she had this horrible car accident that like gave her trauma, and that's why maybe she had the
Yeah.
violent tendencies. I think it's another like good, well observed point. Also, the fact that he really starts defending her and like seeing things from her side when other people are like pushing against her. So like the
Yeah.
Alana Haim character. So
But in
he's
private, he's very much
yeah, in
also
private he's like,
very
oh god.
judging.
But
Yeah.
when he has to be out there and he's like, okay, well, this extension of
I
me, my
think part
fiance,
of that
have
is
to
wanting
defend
to
her.
defend his fiance, but I think a part of it is also I can't be the guy who marries this person that
Exactly.
these
You're
people
like
hate.
thinking of how you would be looked at as the guy that
Yeah.
sticks with
It's
a
both at the same
wannabe
time.
school shooter, which
Yeah.
again is very complex, very human. So
My wife's not that crazy, guys.
guys, but she did it because of the trauma. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
This is fun. This is a very fun discussion. How many
Yeah,
horrible
very
secrets out of 5 do you give the drama?
giving it 3 out of 5.
Really?
Yeah. Again,
What
I
were
thought
the
it was good.
drawbacks? What were the drawbacks? Because we didn't really talk about the drawbacks.
Yeah. I mean, the editing style in different ways didn't always connect with me.
Hmm.
And then I think there's some moments where it doesn't quite land on either the like discussions, like what we're having here. Obviously, it can't fully dive into all that. It has to more just show it. But yeah, I don't know if at a certain point seeing Zendaya with a gun or little Zendaya with a gun or her, recording the manifesto, if
Hmm.
all those truly amounted to more than what we got with the initial pass of them. And
Hmm.
then there was some with the comedic stuff. I don't know, like the DJ showing up at the wedding. I didn't think he was very funny at all.
That was funny.
You
The guy
got,
talking heavy about the tech that he's bringing, I think it's pretty funny.
yeah, I didn't quite like that. Got very campy at that end there, but I was still good. Like Robert Pattinson doing his his vows, his like speech,
Oh,
and
it's brilliant. It's a great speech.
it's all the little things that we had seen in the past that he's just now flustered
And I
trying
was
to throw
gonna,
them out there.
I was gonna say something about her laugh and how
Her
stupid it
last
is,
repulsive.
and we have great sex.
Yeah, great sex though, yeah, and everyone's just like, "What's going on?"
It's so
I
hard to
think that
watch.
stuff's good, but yeah, overall, it's one of those that I enjoy the premise and the discussion of it more than I enjoy the actual execution of the filmmaking.
Interesting.
But yeah, solid.
I'm giving it 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I was thoroughly
Wow.
entertained. I think the beginning is just a little sluggish for me.
I see.
I think until we get to that conversation where they reveal those secrets, I think up until that point, I think maybe the dialogue isn't just hitting for me, or like the performances are missing a little bit. I think it's at that moment is when everybody kind of just locks in and the movie goes into full gear, because the editing then starts to make a little more sense. Like, it's there a little bit in the beginning with them building their speeches. I think is a cute way to set up their relationship and to give us a little bit of background. But I think the editing really kicks into gear once it like takes the pace of thought and just runs with that idea until the very end of the movie. And I really enjoy it. So for me, 4.5. I loved it. I think it's fantastic.
Huge recommendation from Dylan here.
I think everybody should go see it. I think it's pretty fun. And Hoppers. Everybody go see Hoppers. That's also 4.5. That movie's awesome. Love Hoppers. That's all the time we have. If you'd like to give your thoughts on the show, you can email us at theboxofficeshowpod@gmail.com.
Our main title theme for the show is Sundown by Joseph McDick.
If you like the show, please give us 5 stars whatever podcast app you're listening to. And be sure to tune in next week. Have a great rest of your day.